Hey, Pastor Josh here. We are reading Genesis chapter 32, verses 13 through 23. Jacob is now getting ready to meet Esau. This is a big deal. There's 400 people that is coming toward Jacob. He hears about this, and he's afraid they're military men, afraid that they are going to come and destroy him. And very well, that could be the case. And so now Jacob has to choose to do something. He has to cross this great river. How is he going to meet Esau? He has run away from Laban and has been spared from that by the skin of his teeth barely, and now he is encountering his brother who he has deceived and who is no doubt still holding a grudge and who had already pledged to kill him. So let's see what happens. So he stayed there that night. This is Jacob. He's making a plan on what to do. And from what he had with him, he took a present for his brother Esau. Okay, he's saying, okay, if we're going to meet him, I am going to give him a present. And I think this is an example for us to follow. He is trying to make amends. We are seeing the transformation of Jacob. It's going to come to a completion in our next reading when Jacob wrestles with God and God encounters him in a powerful and physical way. But we are beginning to see Jacob change. And so if he is presenting this present, it's almost like you see a mixture of him being wise and witty and crafty. But then at the same time, he is saying some things that seems to show a bit of humility and even change. And I'll point that out in a minute. So if he is presenting this present to Esau because he genuinely wants to be recommitted or wants to be reconciled with his brother Esau, and he wants to see that relationship good, and he wants to give that to him, then I think that would be a good example for us to follow whenever we have wronged somebody, to present a present to them of some sort that will bless them, and then also to do it before we encounter them, to kind of soften their hearts, if you will. So he took a present for his brother Esau, 200 female goats. It sounds like a lot to me. I think it is. 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milking camels and their calves. So that could be quite a bit there. These are camels. They didn't number them probably because you don't know if the calves are going to make it or not. But milking camels, and then also their children, the baby camels. 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. This is the gift that he has given to his brother Esau. These he handed over to his servants. Every drove by itself, and said to his servants, "Pass on ahead of me, and put a space between drove and drove." And so his whole idea of putting space between it is that he wants Esau to receive one gift and be like, "Oh, what is this?" And then he receives another gift. Esau says, "What is this?" Then he receives another gift. So he's really even spacing this out. So you see the wisdom in trying to really show show Esau that he wants to be reconciled with him. He doesn't want to be killed. I don't know if it's super clear on what his motivations are, but I think we know what our motivations should be. If we're doing this because we really want to reconcile with somebody, then we should do it. And it takes effort. It even takes sacrifice. Those 200 female goats, 200 ewes, all of those animals were a sacrifice from Jacob. Even though he was extremely blessed, he was still sacrificing and giving this to Esau. And so he puts a space in between so that he will slowly receive these gifts. And he instructed the first one, "Esau, my brother," notice he calls him his brother, "meets you and asks you, 'To whom do you belong? Where are you going? And whose are these ahead of you?' Then you shall say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to my,'" what's he calling him? "Lord Esau. They are a present sent to my Lord Esau." Remember, Jacob stole the birthright. Remember? You remember how he stole the birthright from Esau? He stole it from him for a bowl of soup. And now he is calling him his Lord. I think that's a great attitude for us to adopt, is that we need to make sure that we are servants to all. And if this is truly Jacob's heart, and I think there are things that can point to that, but if he is truly saying, Jacob or Esau, I'm not going to try to assert my rights and steal things from you anymore. You are Lord. I will take whatever the Lord gives to me, what my God gives to me, and you can be above me. If that is truly his heart, then that's really good. And I think we again see this transformation. This is in transient stage, especially when he meets with the Lord. We see him change even more. His name gets changed even. So, and moreover, he is behind us. So Jacob's coming behind us. We got more gifts. He likewise instructed the second and the third. So there's third groups that are going to come, and then Jacob is going to be the last. And all who follow the droves, you shall say the same thing to Esau when you find him, and you shall say, moreover, your servant Jacob is behind us. Jacob's coming. Please forgive him. Receive these gifts. For he thought, I may appease him with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterward I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. Now, that's a great question on what do we take this thought here? He will accept me. This is an idea of reconciliation. He didn't say, perhaps I won't die. Perhaps he'll let me be. But he says perhaps he will accept me, that there will be some sort of reconciliation. He's wanting to appease him. Again, I think it's a good example to follow. If it's somebody that you have wronged, it is good to seek that reconciliation in the appropriate way with the appropriate counsel and advice of those that are close to you. You don't want to do this in a silly way, or perhaps in a way that would offend the person that you're trying to be reconciled to. So the present passed on ahead of him, and he himself stayed that night in the camp. And so now Jacob is all alone. He's passed all of the gifts in front of him, and now he's going to pass his family in front of him, and he's going to be left all alone. The same night he arose and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. Now Jabbok is a river, and it is actually one of the dividing portions of Israel's future territory. So when Moses is giving out the land, when Joshua takes the land, the Jabbok is a boundary marker. When you cross the Jabbok, you go outside of Israel's territory. When you come into it, you come into Israel's territory. So Jacob is entering now the promised land. And this is a major deal. He has got to be changed if he is going to truly enter into the land that his ancestors are going to take. And this is why God then meets him and wrestles with him. So he took them and sent them across the stream and everything else he had. So he's all alone, just like he was all alone when he first left Esau to go live in Haran. Now he's coming back, and this the setting is set up to be the exact same thing. He is now alone, and the Lord is going to come and meet him in a very powerful way. I pray that's been a blessing to you. We'll see you all in the next video.